Okay, I'm back with the all the seal on the face to keep the water from making it back, migrating it to the wood and inside the coach, and with this little aluminum strip across the top. And purpose of that little yellow aluminum strip is that it holds the gasket in place, and the gasket is replaceable from the outside without having to take all this apart. Well, you take the shield, but you basically I'm gonna order a new gasket, and you take it. It's on another L strip, aluminum L channel, and it fits in that channel. And then it's screwed. You run the screws in from the face behind this piece of seal here. So if you down intervals where you can see on the backside where the holes are, and you see the rust where water's been a factor in this also in time. So this would sit in there and like this, and the purpose of that aluminum, let me see if I can get it focused. Purpose of that other L bracket that's installed on the I just finished installing is to go up, have something for this to push against and this to rest on. So the other L channel comes down and across. So they're opposing L's. And then you secure this through screws from the face. Now the deal with the face, this is some super sticky adhesive door seal, whatever the heck it is. And basically, but I was able just to pull it back enough to get to the screws. And so when I go with the coat with the floor in, I can just put this in place and lay it in that channel, because that'd be about all the space you're going to have, and then run the screws in, and the screws will run through this wrap, and that'll help. I think the wrap will help keep moisture, to seal that up somewhat also. So I'm kind of pleased with that. I did check my extruded aluminum, and it fits over top and hides everything like it's supposed to. And also from the factory, or whoever worked on this last, which I think was probably the factory, put a gazillion nails, metal nails down through here. So I put not a gazillion, but quite a few fairly long screws, inch and 3/4, I think, 1 3/4 screw extends all the way down into here. So this is very, very solid. So if you remember, I put those on 4x4s, and so everything here should be solid, very solid for this floor to go up in here. So I guess the next step is to in fact put the floor in place, and then secure it up through the aluminum channels that's underneath. And I may have to look and see what kind of screws I have for that. I probably would end up putting that in there and then jacking it up, because I got a feeling this is going to be a treat right here, putting this floor in, because it's not light. The next step's going to be doing that. Okay, latest update. Put the new floor in the coach and the slide out. See it there, it's all aluminum. It's in place. That's my new gasket surface is there from my new gasket when I ordered that and put it in. You notice I put a screw every 6 inches all the way around to go up to the aluminum channel that makes up the aluminum coach. And then there's my 2 holes there for the slide out mechanism, which actually holds it up also. So I pre-drilled those. Just had to drill them out. I had 2 small screw bolt, and I'm going to go up inside and I'm going to tighten those up, come back outside and remove my supports, and it'll be completely supported by the coach then. I'm really pleased with the after all the work. You can see my spacing down through there is pretty darn close to even all the way across. So I'm hoping that when this thing shuts, hopefully the hole's not cattywampus, because it looks like everything else here is pretty true. And you can look down through here, there's a gap, but that gap's going to be there until I pull it up with the aluminum on the outside. No, I don't want to do that until I've run it in and out a couple times to see what it looks like, to make sure it doesn't catch on something. So that's where I'm at right now, and go inside. Here's the inside of the slide after I just came in, and still have to run my bolts up that I pushed up from the bottom. The slide now is basically supported by the floor because my these boards here are loose, so that tells me that the weight is on the rollers right now on both sides. So the rollers are holding the slide up on this side, and then when I get that attached there, I'll feel better about going outside and removing those supports out there. I won't feel better. That's got to be done before I can do that out there. So that's where we're at with that. And before I can move it in, I got to clean up. Some of that I can lay up in the slide and let it ride back and forth, and some of it, of course, I'll take out. But it's been a long weekend putting this floor in, and but I think I'll end up with a pretty good product. I don't exactly understand that cutout. I put that cutout back in there. Maybe it's so it can miss the mechanism when it gets back here. And I suspect that's what it's for. When it comes back, it doesn't hit the motor, or maybe it allows you to service the motor. I don't know. But that's what the cutout is for in there. And I duplicated that from what was done previously. Okay, let me go bolt some stuff up and clean up and see what I come up to next. Okay, got the slide out in. All my bolts are in place. The wire needs to be stapled in place, but I've got all that done. And it came in without any problems, other than it walks quite a bit, because really there's nothing rigid here. The thing will rock back and forth, the top will rock, because there's nothing there to give it, other than that piece of plywood on the bottom that flexes. Until you get the bed on it, I think the bed would probably help. But and it rocked before, but it rocked a lot because it was rotten. So my next stop is outside to see. I've already pre-checked it a little bit. I think I'm okay on the outside. I'm going to see how tight it is against the top. But I'm right pleased with this, and I'll probably call it a night after this. Okay, back to the outside. Slide out's in. The motor went to its stop, of course. And I'm thinking it looks okay. There is a gap back here. I'm going to go up on top of this ladder and take a look. Oh man, look at that. You can't even tell. It's perfect. All the way across the top. That's exactly where I want it. It's an even space all the way across. And you can see where, even from the factory, look at the stripes on the side. Now, I'm not sure if this thing's been repainted or not. It might have been repainted. I suspect it had. But look at the stripes on the side, how they don't line up. Either it was not right from the factory, or somebody had this coach repainted with it messed up. Because I have a hard time believing NEWMAR let that thing leave the factory sagging as much as that's showing that sag in them stripes right there. Look at that. That's a lot. That's a good quarter. That's more than a quarter of an inch of sag that was in that. And the back, that's in the front too. So that gives a little bit more to my feeling that this coach has been repainted. Somebody, went through a lot of expense having this thing cleaned up, painted. But NEWMAR wouldn't let that thing leave the factory with a sag in it that much. I'm just convinced they wouldn't. And that's pretty messed up. So anyway, I'm going to put I'll be putting the trim and all back on it later when I get the new gasket for the bottom. But I'm going to call it a night, and hope this video has been good for you to take this on. And you know what? I ain't sweating that little bit right there. There ain't no flipping way. Looks good to me. Take care. This video of I know I'm kind of suck at videos, but this is the seal that goes underneath my slide out. As you can see, it's pretty damaged. So I ordered a new one and ordered from NEWMAR. It was basically available from other places too. You basically, all you have to do is you look at the profile. And you can see the profile of this gasket, you know, the dimensions. And there's other people that sell it because it's, you know, it's not made by NEWMAR. But they buy it and then they resell it, and they resell it very inexpensively. And I tell you what, I'm very impressed with NEWMAR. How they, I mean, I ordered it on Monday. Today's Wednesday, and it's sitting in my house. And I'm in Virginia, which it's not that far away, but still, I'm very, very pleased with how they responded. So it's time to walk out to the building to show how this is put together. In here I've started putting this together. Basically the gasket is attached to an aluminum L bracket like this, and inside the RV there's a second L bracket this will mount against that goes from here and up to prevent this from coming off, that metal clip from coming off of the horizontal L bracket. The fascia, or the front part, which is actually screwed to the RV because the screws go through here, like I'm pointing my finger, they're under this gasket. The head of the screws under this gasket, and to access them you have to kind of peel the gasket up to get to the hole. And I kind of figured that out after I started working on it, that basically if I'm careful I don't have to destroy that gasket. I can work around it. And of course this gasket will go underneath this slide out behind that aluminum tray, and I just kind of temporarily fit that on there to see how it worked out. And I need to remove that. It's only a couple screws, and then I'm going to install my gasket. Okay, my seal's in, and not all my screws are in just yet. The seal screws are in, but this plate around the echelon plate's not totally screwed, but I'll get that in time. And plus I got to work on this outside one here, get it butted up better than this, and then I'm going to probably come back with black caulk, and not RTV. God, I hate RTV. Probably be Dow Corning 5100 or 4100 or something like that. But here's another project I got started. I ordered from NEWMAR that came in today. Was 2 new end caps. Well, it's actually enough to make more than 2, but it came in a 8-foot length. They cut it to 2 4-foot lengths. This is what I'm going to fix on this camper. It drives me nuts. Short trip some days and others. But this is a cabinet intended for all your wet side, for your hoses and all of that. And it's made so that it's just a little long. If it was just a little shorter, narrower, I could raise it all the way with the slide out. NEWMAR, I don't know why he didn't think of that back in the day. He probably did afterwards. But anyway, my coach is all of, that door is that much too long. Doesn't that suck? So, I'm going to narrow this door up. Probably not much, probably somewhere in here. And it have a seam looks like this. It'll be in one here, and then of course the new opening will be here. And then this part will be affixed solid to the coach. Shouldn't be a problem. And then I'll probably have to put some sort of gasket in between to prevent air and stuff such get in there. And I'll cut this ever so carefully, but you don't have to cut it so carefully because this overlaps, just like this is overlapped. And I may pre-paint these green ahead of time, and unfortunately there'll probably be 2 green marks down where you see this stripe. But you know what? I'll get over it. Just for the mere convenience to be able to open this silly door when the slide out is out. Because I'm a fat man, and getting underneath of there isn't a whole lot of fun. All those I can live with, because I got doors on the other side. But this door here, is a royal pain in the butt. And I often need to get in that door when that slide out is deployed out. So we are going to fix that sometime later this year. Another thing kind of bothers me, if you look down, you can see that white strip down through there. That's where that cabinet wasn't painted all the way inside. So it will be when I get done. I'm going to mask that off and paint that green. And call me anal, but it's just the way it is. All of them are done that way. So, but this one shows up worse than the others. Some of the others don't show. Anyway, we're going to fix that. My slide out's out, my seal's in. The bugs and critters can't get through, not easily anyway. I see a little daylight through there. I don't know what I can do about it, but I'll look at it and see if I can cut down on some of that. Back inside the RV in the bedroom, looking down at the, this is the new gasket I just put in, and you can see the aluminum track on the bottom, and that was there, and then the rubber I just put up is trapped. Get over here where I can see. It's trapped between the piece I just put up and this piece of aluminum that was already there. Another thing interesting is, see those 4 screws? That's how you get to the slide out caster, or whatever you want to call it, roller. As you can see, there's the 4x4 I put underneath of that thing to support the weight. Before, it was just sitting on a piece of 1x bridged across just basically bridged across a 1x on this end, not a 1x, actually it's a 1/2-inch plywood, and then another piece of 1/2-inch plywood that went on a horizontal down through there. It was ridged across the top. I swear I can't believe that NEWMAR built it like that. Maybe they did, I don't know. But hopefully this here won't leak. I don't know exactly what all else I could do to this to help it to not leak, but I'll work on something. That aluminum piece there that's bent out a little bit, that's actually on the slide out. So maybe I should take and bend that back flat, but I don't want to rip that gasket up either. That's this side. Back up. Go around to this side. Again, there's the the roller, and there's the aluminum that's bent back so it won't hit that slide, and just the tiniest of holes right there. I don't know, maybe water gets down and comes in that hole. I don't know. I gotta come up with something though, because maybe that was where the water came in and caused all that rot. That's the piece of 2x10 I put in there. That's now in place of the foam that was in there before, and a piece of plywood. And got that on. Another thing was in here too. This extended out. This extended out here, and I'm not exactly sure why, because it's under a cabinet. And why would I care? Kind of puzzles me. Why would I want that stuck? They purposely did it that way with the slide up. Maybe it's, I don't think it's a safety, for crying out loud. You got this aluminum right here. It's going to prevent it from sliding out. So I'm not exactly sure what caused that, or why they had to have that. I don't think I'm going to put it back though. Don't think I'm putting that back. I'll evaluate that as I put this together. Another problem with my slide is this here is pretty tight. I think I'm going to make an adjustment and let it shove a little bit further, maybe get a little bit tighter here. Not much. I mean, it's tight. I can get a finger kind of behind the gasket. But over here, I'm a long ways. I can get fingers all down in there, and I got a feeling it's the strut, the locking mechanism is holding it out. And I won't know that until I bring the slide out in and remove the locking mechanism and then put it back. I mean, then run it out and see if that takes care of it. I got a sneaky suspicion that might be the case. But for tonight, don't think I'm going to do a whole lot. I'm gonna go in and watch TV with my wife and think about what I can do when I start working on this some more. And I will not be putting plywood, this flooring inside of that hole. I am gonna probably buy Luan so I can Luan this floor to raise it up just a skosh. I'm debating on that. I could probably lay it on this floor, but it's not real even back here in the back, so I'm leaning against not doing that. And then of course there's the puzzle right there, is that engine cover that has a hump in it for the engine, of course. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to resolve that. And I may just carpet it back, just put carpet back on it and be done with it. And that'll let it overlap the wood floor. It'll probably look just fine like that. And that would be, and of course there's this piece right here is held on with Velcro over the fascia of that, so that'll cover that up. So I'll probably there's the carpet, I unstuck it there. And it has some sort of a note on it. Top bind, sides on top. Okay, so there's instructions from the person that did the carpet, how to bind that carpet so it could adhere it to that with probably just some spray adhesive. So I got a lot more to do, more to come, but made a long ways this week, and as we get it done, we get it done. That's all for this video. Well, this is done some work on the slide out, and I put down the laminate floor, got from Costco. It's a wood backed with the laminate on top, thin laminate. I believe it's going to probably be my best option. There's no wear and tear back there, and it's limited wear and tear in here. I am electing to glue, they're snap lock, but I'm electing to glue them together also. So I'm doing both glue and snap, and then plus on that slide out, I'm fastening it down strong. I don't think it'll expand that much. It says to leave with 3/8 of an inch, but it's over quite a distance, so I feel pretty safe that this is it'll be fine. For some reason the camera doesn't want to focus. Once upon a time, I guess there was some moisture that from the shower probably that extended in here, maybe got the carpet wet, and you can see evidence of, I guess, some mold in the past. And what I've done is pressurized the camper using the roof vent to blow down, so any dust or anything blows out of this space, hopefully keep it down some, so I don't have to clean so much up in the rest of the camper, although it's bound to be dusty. And there's my new floor, aluminum edge on the front. Won't be able to see it unless you open the bed anyway. And the bed I just have propped, the cover that can't be removed from the room, it's too big. And so I just propped it up for now to hold it in place while I do the rest of this floor. This is a video of the laminate floor down. Lots of cutting. I mean, tons of cutting. And boxes are about 20 square feet each. I got some left, not much won't be left. I've had 4 boxes, and got it in place over top of the Luan I put in. I got a couple more pieces of cut in there, and then I'm carpeting that again. I got the carpet, it's just the same piece. Just gonna clean it good and stick it to that cover so that it'll overlap the flooring around it. And then I'm gonna stand up a piece of flooring horizontally down that wall so that cover that up. And I got to put a piece on that right there because that part's visible, as well as I believe a piece of that over in that corner, all the way over in that corner. I think that's going to be visible. The rest of it's not visible, it's all underneath the bed. So I'm not overly concerned about a perfectly straight edge down through there. I could do it, but not overly concerned about it. And I got a new threshold mold to go in here. I'll cut that and put it in place. I probably have to stain it though. It's oak. And right now the transition's almost perfectly flat. It is flat. So there won't be any step up or step down. It will be good. So any luck tomorrow or this week, I'll be able to put the floor and bed back together in here and screw it back to the wall and secure it to the slide out bottom. And the wheels will roll on the, or the rollers will roll on the floor. This is what it looks like so far. The flooring's down. I haven't wiped it up. There's some glue spots. I broke that vent. I got to pick another one of those up. I got those at the RV store. So it doesn't look too bad. None of this is horribly important underneath the bed because it's underneath the bed. So my work ahead of me is I got a few more things I can do before I can put the cabinets in and such. But the flooring, the threshold, which I got to put some finish on that, but for right now it'll work fine to the purpose of just making a divider in here. And like I said, I left the carpet in the center of this. I'll vacuum that all real well when I get a little bit further down the line, but for now, I mean, it's no problem with leaving carpet in it. It's probably better. Stuff won't roll around. Probably put a scatter rug underneath there anyway. And my hatch here for the engine access is should be able to remove pretty easily. And here's the there's the cover that goes in its place. It's held on with Velcro. And all I got to do is put the carpet back on the base and it'll overlap the edges, and I think we're good to go. I just got to glue it. I might take that cover and cut it down though, so it'll be flush with the top. I don't know. And I'm going to leave a little piece of carpet right there. It's not hurting the thing right where it's at. I've seen that since a couple other places it's in a vertical. I got to get a little bit of quarter round this over here, cover that gap. That or brown caulk, I don't know, one of the two. I'm not really worried about this flooring expanding at all. It's such a small span here that it should not expand. I had to finish the corners there because that's visible, as this one over here is also visible when the cabinets go. This is an upside down backwards image of the rollers that are on the bottom of the bed. I got the bed standing up. So, but there's 3 rollers that will roll on the bottom on the floor. I think it shouldn't be a problem at all. I think they'll be fine.